The History of New York City, From Native Land to Global Capital, YouTube video narration script, long form. New York City is one of the most famous cities in the world, a global center of finance, culture, immigration, and innovation. But long before skyscrapers, subways, and Wall Street, the land we now call New York was home to Native American communities, dense forests, rivers, and natural harbors. The story of New York is a story of trade, power, immigration, resilience, and constant reinvention. 1. Before Europeans. Native American New York. Before European explorers arrived, the region that is now New York City was inhabited by Native American tribes, mainly the Lenape people. They lived across Manhattan, Brooklyn, Staten Island, and parts of New Jersey. The Lenape used the land for hunting, fishing, and farming. Manhattan itself was covered in forests, wetlands, and streams. The Lenape called the island Mannahatta, which roughly means island of many hills. The area was ideal for settlement. Natural harbor access to rivers, fertile land, abundant wildlife. These advantages would later make New York one of the most valuable trading locations in the world. 2. The Dutch arrive, 1609 to 1664. In 1609, English explorer Henry Hudson sailed into New York Harbor while working for the Dutch East India Company. He explored the river that now bears his name, the Hudson River, and reported that the region was perfect for trade. Soon after, the Dutch established a colony called New Netherland, and in 1624 they built a small settlement at the southern tip of Manhattan. They named it New Amsterdam. This early settlement was primarily a trading post focused on fur trading with Native Americans. The Dutch built Fort Amsterdam trading houses, farms, wooden homes in 1626. Dutch Governor Peter Minuit reportedly purchased Manhattan from Native Americans for goods worth about $24. While the story is famous, historians believe the transaction was more complex and likely misunderstood. New Amsterdam quickly became diverse. People from Europe, Africa, Caribbean, Jewish refugees, traders, and merchants all lived together, setting the foundation for New York's multicultural identity. 3. The British take control, 1664. In 1664, British warships arrived in New Amsterdam harbor. The Dutch surrendered peacefully, and the British took control. They renamed the city New York after the Duke of York, later King James II of England. Under British rule, New York grew into an important colonial port. Trade increased, and the city became a major connection between Europe, Caribbean, American colonies. However, tensions grew between colonists and Britain, eventually leading to revolution. 4. The American Revolution, 1775 to 1783. New York played a major role in the American Revolution. In 1776, General George Washington fought British forces in the Battle of Long Island, one of the largest battles of the war. The British captured New York City and controlled it for most of the Revolution. It became their main military base in North America. During this time, many buildings burned in fires. The population changed dramatically. Loyalists fled after the war. The economy suffered when the war ended in 1783. British troops left New York, and George Washington entered the city as a hero. 5. New York becomes America's first capital, 1785 to 1790. After independence, New York City briefly became the capital of the United States. Important moments. George Washington sworn in as first president, 1789. Bill of Rights debated. Federal government operated from Manhattan, although the capital later moved to Philadelphia and then Washington, D.C. New York had already established itself as a powerful political and financial center. 6. 19th century growth and immigration boom. The 1800s transformed New York into a massive city. One of the biggest turning points came in 1825 with the opening of the Erie Canal. The canal connected New York City to the Great Lakes and the American interior. This made New York the most important trade city in America. Soon after, businesses exploded, population grew rapidly, factories opened, shipping industry expanded, millions of immigrants arrived in the 1800s. Irish, fleeing famine, Germans, Italians, Eastern Europeans, Jewish immigrants, they entered through New York Harbor and settled in neighborhoods like Lower East Side, Little Italy. Chinatown, New York became known as the gateway to America. 7. The rise of modern New York, 1900 to 1930. The early 20th century saw the construction of iconic landmarks. Skyscrapers changed the skyline. Flatiron Building, Woolworth Building, Chrysler Building, Empire State Building. The subway opened in 1904, allowing the city to expand rapidly. New York became financial capital, Wall Street, cultural center, Broadway, media hub, immigration gateway, Ellis Island. By the 1920s, New York was the largest city in the world. 8. The Great Depression and Recovery. In 1929, the stock market crashed on Wall Street, starting the Great Depression. New York suffered massive unemployment, poverty, business closures. However, major projects continued. Empire State Building completed, 1931, bridges and highways built, public housing expanded. These projects helped rebuild the city and create jobs. 9. New York after World War II. After World War II, New York became the center of global power. Major developments. United Nations headquarters built, 1945, financial markets dominated globally, media and entertainment grew, immigration resumed, New York became a symbol of opportunity and modern life. 10. Crisis in the 1970s. In the 1970s, New York faced serious problems. Crime increased, economy weakened, government nearly went bankrupt, infrastructure declined, many people left the city during this period. However, New York would soon reinvent itself again. 11. The 9/11 attacks, 2001. On September 11, 2001, terrorists attacked the World Trade Center. 2 planes struck the Twin Towers, causing them to collapse. This was one of the most tragic moments in New York's history. Effects: thousands killed, financial district destroyed, global shock, security changes worldwide. Despite the tragedy, New York rebuilt. The new One World Trade Center now stands where the towers once stood. 12. New York today. Today, New York City is one of the most powerful cities in the world. It is financial capital, cultural center, tourism hotspot, media powerhouse, technology hub, population over 8 million people, languages spoken, over 200 visitors per year. Millions. New York continues to evolve, just like it always has. Conclusion: from Native American land to Dutch trading post, from British colony to American capital, from immigrant gateway to global megacity, New York City has constantly transformed itself. It is a city built by millions of people from around the world, each adding to its history, culture, and identity. New York isn't just a city. It's a story of ambition, diversity, struggle, and dreams. And that story is still being written today.